This is Yorkshire Television. Now we join ITN for the world news.
From ITN, News at 10 with Trevor MacDonald.
Massive fine for Tories accused in vote-rigging scandal. Archbishop Carey warns Michael Howard over crime and punishment. The doctor's dilemma over a girl with a bullet in her brain. And how did you celebrate a special day for Europe? Good evening. A district auditor today ordered 3 Conservative councillors and 3 council officials from Westminster in London to repay more than £31 million they allegedly cost taxpayers in a Homes for Votes scandal. He said they were guilty of willful misconduct and gerrymandering. The former council leader, Dame Shirley Porter, continued to protest her innocence and demanded to be tried by what she called a proper judge. Labour seized on the district auditor's findings and said what the council did in the late 1980s was done with the knowledge and approval of the Conservative leadership. Our political editor, Michael Brunston, reports.
It was the jewel in the crown of Conservative local government. In her finery, Shirley Porter, its leader, glowed with pride when she gave Margaret Thatcher the freedom of Westminster 5 years ago. As Prime Minister, Mrs. Thatcher saw the council there as the very model of how things should be. Outside City Hall today, vast volumes of the report revealed how things really were. The district auditor said that Dame Shirley and 5 colleagues were guilty of, quote, willful misconduct, and that the council was engaged in the disgraceful and improper purpose of gerrymandering by using homes to fix votes. Outside her lawyer's offices, where protesters had gathered to heckle her, Dame Shirley said that she would exercise her right of appeal to the High Court over the way the district auditor had conducted his inquiry.
Mr. McGill's investigation has been blatantly unfair. One man has been prosecutor, judge and jury, and I shall appeal against it. You would have expected me to, and I shall.
The policy so forcefully condemned by the auditor targeted marginal council wards. Flats in these blocks were sold to private buyers to help make the wards safe. The councillors either knew or reckoned it would make buyers like Mrs. Margaret Bullock vote Tory.
I bet they did and all, but bad luck with me because I didn't.
The auditor also says that millions were wasted by shunting off the homeless into temporary bed and breakfast accommodation. Others were given poor council housing after receiving a questionnaire.
We signed a piece of paper asking our ethnic origin, and if there was a general election, would we be willing to vote Conservative or Labour, and we had to tick the box relevant.
In all, the auditor decided that such policies had involved improper spending of £31.6 million. He says selling homes at a discount cost £15.4 million, grants paid to persuade tenants to move out cost £2.4 million, rehousing ex-tenants who became homeless cost £4.2 million, the loss in rent and rates income totaled £8.7 million, and interest on those and other losses is set at £5.1 million. Tonight, the former Westminster councillor and now Conservative MP Barry Legg, who's now been told he will not be surcharged, said it's good news, isn't it, when approached by ITN.
It's good news, isn't it?
But Councillor David Weeks, who is being surcharged and who went to Conservative Central Office tonight for discussions, will seek redress against the auditor in the courts.
We said that he was not an appropriate person to hear this case. His findings today have proved that that is the case, and we look forward, as I say, to it going to a proper court with a proper judge for the first time.
And because of that, the Prime Minister's refused today to condemn what's happened. Last year, he said he might, once the auditor had finally reported. Now, to Tony Blair's fury, and Mr. Blair's a lawyer, Mr. Major has said the appeals extend the legal process.
The people challenged in this matter have declared their innocence in very clear-cut terms. I am surprised, in the face of